Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is your boy ER coming at you with another episode of Use It or Lose It. Last week found us talking about sleep and how we can apply certain tips and techniques to ensure that we get a more restful sleep so we can recover faster and hopefully be more apt to complete our through hike or our long section hikes or whatever we're attempting. This week we're going to look at 3 ways to adapt faster to the trail once you get out there, whether that's on a through hike or a long session hike. If we don't adapt fast, there's a good chance that we're not going to make it too far on our hikes. So that's what this week's going to focus on. But before we get there, I want to point back to last week a little bit and just say the comments that came in from that video were amazing. There are some incredible techniques and tips that people have applied or lessons they have learned in the past about sleep on the trail. So if you haven't, go back to that video, read the comments down there, and you will gain a whole lot more knowledge than I spewed out in my video last week. So there are some great tips that you want to use in those comment sections, so go back and check them out. So tip number 1 this week is be careful not to create expectations before you ever leave the start point on the trail. This means don't create a bunch of expectations and say things like, I'm going to relax and take my time and enjoy every view that comes along. I'm going to go out there and find myself. I'm going to be on vacation out there. I'm not going to have any cares or concerns while I'm walking the trail. The problem with these statements are that maybe all of them, some of them, or absolutely none of them are going to happen the way that you think they are. And that's important to remember. We hear a lot of folks get off the trail with the reasoning of, it just wasn't what I thought it was going to be when I was out there. That's a key sign that somebody had created expectations before they ever walk out there and didn't just go with the flow of the trail. They tried to find what they were expecting out there on the trail and they didn't find it. So the problem is when we build these expectations before we ever even step off on the hike, we create a measuring stick for success, a false measuring stick. And once we start having experiences out there on the trail and those experiences don't match up or measure up to the stick that we're using to measure them, we think something's wrong and we end up deciding to get off trail because this isn't what I thought it was. Trust me when I say, and again, this sounds mushy, but I mean it. The universe is unfolding perfectly in front of you, and everything that's happening to you on the trail was meant just for you. And that's the magic of being out there. You can't go out there thinking you're going to know what's happening because the universe is going to unfold it in real time right in front of you. So here's what I can promise you, and you need to keep in mind. Whatever you think's going to happen, whatever that experience is that you think you're going to have, most of that is going to die before you get to Nil Gap. And the reality will have set in by then. So the expectations that you have for yourself, they're not going to be reality when you step out there. The trail's going to unfold the experience for you. All you need to do is just be open to it, take one foot in front of the other, and just enjoy your time out there. And I don't mean enjoy by, hey, there's going to be no suffering. No, you got to find enjoyment in the suffering, or you will not make it to your destination. All right, tip number 2 for this week. Adapting to the trail quickly means we need to eradicate some of the habits that we're used to in daily life, especially when it comes to eating and drinking. Eating, back in the real world, we're like, oh, I don't want to eat too much during the day because it's going to make me fat. Or I'm only going to eat when I get hungry or really hungry. And then other people say, I don't drink a lot of water, don't really like water. I'm only going to drink when I get thirsty. Folks, those 2 things right there will end your hike faster than you can imagine. And those 2 things right there, if we look back at last week, they're going to affect that sound sleep that you need as well. So all this combines together, but we're going to talk about the food and the hydration aspect right now. So a lot of people who step on the trail, the first thing they notice is, man, I'm carrying a lot of food and I'm not really hungry. I don't really eat a lot up front. Folks, that's just a bunch of BS that you're feeding yourself. Yep, you might not be hungry, but I will tell you, your body is burning calories at an extraordinary rate that it's not used to. Force food in your mouth hole. Like, that's the bottom line. Every hour or 2, you should be snacking on something, and you should be eating 3 big meals a day. Now, breakfast, some people just eat a little bit of oatmeal or whatever, and then they eat a light lunch on the way, and then they eat a big dinner. Whatever it takes, but you need to be shoving calories in your body or your body is not going to be able to recover. Just like sleep, that food is going to provide your muscles and your body the nourishment that it needs to recover itself so it can keep moving. Folks, whether you're hungry or not, shove food in your face. Another way that you know you need food or something's wrong internally with either your hydration or your nutrition you start acting like a diva. And I love the Snickers Diva commercials because that's exactly what you see playing out on trail. And I said it many times in my through hike of, I'm acting like a diva, I need to get a candy bar in me here pretty soon. So if you feel yourself getting overly emotional, if things are pissing you off, or all of a sudden you have tears flowing down your face for some reason, stop, reach in your little snack bag, whether that's a fanny pack or you need to get in your backpack, shove some food in your face, drink some water, and then watch things plane back down to like the bubbles will level and you can start heading up the trail again. And last but not least, with nutrition, you need to practice what you're gonna eat before you get on the trail. Because I will tell you, a lot of us eat pretty healthy in the real world, out in the matrix, and then we get on the trail and then we start shoving ramen and a whole bunch of other processed crap down our throats, and our bellies and our digestive tracts rebel heavily against it. And again, that's going to take away some energy that you have, what that you need up front on the trail. It's going to create disturbances in your sleep. It's going to make you not want to eat, feel nauseous. If you can adapt to that before you get out there, do so. Early risers technique is 4 to 5 days before you step foot on trail, go ahead and start switching over to the trail diet. A lot of people are like, well, I'm going to eat healthy when I'm out there. Okay, I'll humor you for a second and say, okay, yeah, you're going to eat healthy when you're out there. But reality is you're going to be shoving candy bars, ramen, tuna packets, which are okay. You're going to shove anything that can give you a high amount of calories in your face hole so you can make it up the trail. So if you can start adjusting to that diet before you step foot on the trail, life is going to be much easier up front. You're going to make it that 30 miles to nil gap. And then you can say, hey, I made it. I'm still feeling pretty good. I adapted fast. Let's go. And last but not least, on tip number 2 is hydration. Hydrate or die. Like, that's the bottom line. For all you folks who say, I don't really like the taste of water. Okay, buy a bunch of drink mixes. Doesn't matter. You have to pound water and pound it all day long. My personal rule is when I cross a water source, I don't care if it's 1 mile from the last one that I cross, I'm going to down a liter of water right there. I know some of you can't drink water that fast, whatever. You need to be pounding water when you get to that water source, refill, and continue on. Now, anybody that knows anything about strategizing weight on the trail, you shouldn't be carrying a whole lot of weight up, of water weight on the trail, especially on the AT, as long as you've done a good water check strategy. However, when you do get to the water source, there's no excuse not to camel up a little bit there, meaning you're going to go ahead and chug some water, refill at least about 1 liter of water, and then go on to the next water stop. But you need to stay hydrated. Last week I got some comments about how to get better sleep at night, and one of the comments was, hey, and don't drink a lot of water before you go to bed because you're going to have to wake up a lot. I'm in the exact opposite camp there. You use it or lose it, whichever way you want to do it, but your body is rejuvenating itself at night and it needs plenty of water to do so. So don't rob yourself of water before you go to sleep. Just know you're going to have to wake up a couple of times to go to the bathroom. That's a good sign that your body's recovering. All right, last but not least, tip number 3 for the week. It's how to recover our muscles. Especially we're going to focus on the legs this week. Now, for those of you who watch my hike, you know that I take this very seriously. I carried a massage stick with me the entire 2,189.8 miles, and that was so I could adapt faster and I could recover my legs at the end of the day. But here are the 2 basic rules that you have to live by when you're on the trail or you're doing anything active in life. Number 1, you never stretch cold muscles. You only warm up cold muscles. And 2, you only stretch warm muscles. So what does that mean on the trail? When you wake up, I see a lot of people going straight into the stretching routine, like, oh yeah, like I'm getting ready for the hike. No, what you're really doing is taking a chance to damage your muscles even more. Imagine a rubber band, something that's really flexible. Imagine wetting that, putting it in the freezer overnight, pulling it out the next morning, and then trying to stretch it. Think about how resistant that thing's going to be to stretching. Your muscles are the same way. So the first thing you should be doing before you hike is starting to warm those muscles up. YouTube has tons of videos on pre-workout warm-ups. Go find one that fits you. I have one posted in my videos as well from about a year ago. I'll post it up here. Find a routine that works for you and get those muscles warm before you step off down the trail. That is what's going to get you ready to hike. Now, once you get your muscles warmed up, once you get down the trail a little bit, then you can start stretching muscles. Throughout the day, I never filmed it, but every time I would stop, I would be doing some quad stretches. I'll be doing some runner stretches. I'll be stretching my calves. I'll be doing all those things to make sure my body is gonna perform optimally for me while I'm out there. A couple of items that I took in my backpack up front to help me adapt even faster were calf sleeves and compression booties. Both of these are compression garments that are gonna help your muscles recover faster. Now, I wore the calf sleeves every day when I'm hiking with the intent of I don't want knots building up into my calves during the day. So that slight pressure that it puts on your muscles will allow that blood to keep flowing through and not pool up in your calf muscles, creating knots. It also helps prevent plantar fasciitis in your feet and a whole lot of other things. So try them out. Get you a pair on Amazon. They're cheap and they make all the difference in the world. At least they did for me. And at night when I would get into camp, I'd pull out my compression booties right when I would get in my tent, and I'd go ahead and keep that compression on my feet for a while too. Your feet take a beating, folks. They're gonna splay out. You're gonna have pain in your feet in places and in intensities that you've never felt before. It's normal. That shouldn't take you off your hike, but you should be recovering every night to help get your feet recovered and then ready for the next day of hiking. And last but not least, I carried that massage roller with me the entire length of the trail. And every night, even on breaks, but every night I would get into camp, one of the first things I would do before my muscles get cold, I would roll them out. And basically just massaging the blood through those muscles. And all the massage rollers doing is forcing blood to move through those muscles of your legs. And all that's gonna do is flush out those toxins that have built up all day and help rejuvenate those legs faster. Everybody that has ever used it, I've never heard anybody say, I didn't feel that. That didn't do anything for me. It'd be ridiculous if they did say it because it's already been proven that it works. It just has to be a habit that you build in your day, every day to that routine. Now the stick I carried was only about 7 ounces and I got it on Amazon, and I just looked the other day. In fact, I'll put the link down in the description. It was $7, I think at the most. I bought the green and black one and I think it's $7 right now on Amazon. There's no excuse not to take it. And if you come off trail because you had plantar fasciitis or you had leg pain or knee pain because you got muscles that tightened up and are pulling on your kneecap, that's now on you because we just gave you the answer. All you got to do is build it into your routine and carry 6 more ounces. I would give up 6 ounces of food, and I'm not kidding you. I would give up 6 ounces of food to make sure I had that massage stick in my pack. That's what a difference it made for me on the trail. But I thought you were a mental guy. Why are you focusing so much on nutrition and massage rollers and all this other mess that we're talking about this week? Well, I absolutely am a mental guy, and what I do know is if you don't do these little things right in nutrition, sleep, muscle recovery, all those little things are gonna break you down mentally to where now I have no energy left to do those other things I need to do, which is fight the homesickness that I'm dealing with every day, fight the weather that's pounding down on me, whether it's hot or freezing or it's pouring rain. I need to save all my mental reserves for those things that I can't control, so I don't have to worry about things that I can control. You see, that's the key. If we control what we can control, when those things that are outside of our control come into our lives, we have plenty of energy left to deal with them. And folks, that's the use it or lose it tip this week. Now, if you found this information valuable this week, please hit the like button. Let me know that you liked it. Let me know that we're going in the right direction. Please hit the subscribe button. Click that little bell so you'll know next time when we post a video. And last but not least, leave comments of your experiences down below. I can get on here and bump my gums every week, but I will tell you I found the most value out of reading your comments last week. And in fact, I'm going to start highlighting some comments at the start of videos from this point forward. So please leave your comments down there and I'm going to highlight some that I thought really added some context to the subject. All right, y'all, I hope y'all are having a great week. I hope life is going good for you. Life is what you make it. The universe is unfolding just for you. All you have to do is accept it and be happy. All right, y'all. Till next time, ER out. Deuces.